What is up, guys? It's Selka, and today I'll be taking a look at Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I know it's been a week since my last video, but like I told you, I will be making a video a week for the next week or so. So after that, it should be good to go for daily's video. So a technical analysis every day. And I'll also try to do more edited videos, so something cleaner, better to watch. And yeah, so that's basically it, but I'm still working on some stuff. But yeah, we're gonna take a look at Bitcoin. It's been a while, and last time I think, let's go on the 4 hour chart. Last time I think I think it was around this right there, probably right there. And I told you guys that this was a retracement. This was gonna come and break those low before going up for a regular flat, and that's what happened. Even though the regular flat doesn't look that good, it's still a regular flat in my opinion, since you have this right there and this and this. So either this is a contracting, uh, or this is the C wave and this is the correction. But either way, you got to take a look at this as a regular flat, so something like this. Then you have your impulse, and this is your correction. So then you got the other impulse, and like I told you guys, in this zone we're gonna be super cautious because we're waiting for a drop. All right, and this drop will happen most likely because there is two scenarios right now. The first one is that this right there is a simple correction. So this is a correction for probably that down wave, and then you get another down wave, then an up move because you had this up move, and another down move. So this will complete your all this correction. So let me do it better. So you know right there you have a correction, a B wave, so a orange wave, just like you see on the top right corner. And then you have this up move and this up move. So both impulse are matched, and that's your correction. So this should be another impulse to match this one. So the continuation of that downtrend. So it can be something like this, or simply it is done right now and this will go down as this is your other impulse for that running flat. But this running flat doesn't look as good as the second one, but still you got to keep in mind that this can go straight down just like this one. Right, this one I really thought that this could go pretty much impulsive like this one, but it went up, doing some small correction, and that's okay. It's exactly the same thing we've seen right there. Small correction, but going up to match that impulse, just like this one matched this one. And then you have a drop because you had a drop before that first impulse. All right, and this is your three wave correction. So same thing. This is up move. This is your three wave correction. This could be the up move to get another drop because of that drop right there. So basically, if you want to keep it simple, this should be a drop in two scenarios. The first one is this, and the second one is simply this. So let me put it in a different color, but as you can see, both are aiming for down move. Now, this is the scenario for the bigger time frame, so at least 4 hour, maybe 1 hour, but at least 1 hour, but most likely 4 hour in my opinion. But this should be the direction right there. But the thing is that you cannot know whenever this will start without two things. The first one is breaking the bottom of your last correction. So if this is your last potential correction, if this was a running flat, then you break this bottom, and now you are left with an expanding flat, which you can see all the different correction in the top right corner. So you're left with an expanding flat or the reversal. And since the expanding flat doesn't happen a lot, it can be the reversal. So that's the first thing, all right? Breaking this low. The second thing is giving a correction after breaking this low. So if you get a correction after breaking this low, now you reduce the chance of having the expanding flat. So it's near zero for the expanding, maybe like 10%, but actually it's near zero for the expanding. So there's one thing left, is that drop. So that's what I will be looking at. I'm personally in the short, since that setup. This was super clean to me, a regular flat after a drop. So this was a setup that I took around at this top. waiting for setups. Then I got into that wave, and now I'm on break even. My stop loss is under my entry point, and I'm waiting for it if it's gonna drop or not. All right. If you're not in yet, you should be waiting for something that will confirms that you're going in. All right. So this was perfect. All right. But you can find some. But the bigger the time frame is, the better it is. So this one was at 1 hour time frame setup, so it was better. But as you can see, this might be something in preparation. So something like this, then you could go for that since it's a regular flat in the downtrend, as you can see. But either way, since we broke this low, this running flat is not possible anymore. Even though I know some people took this up with this wave thinking that this could come and break the top back. I know that there is probability of this and sometimes it goes like this, but what I actually look at is the amount of movement that there is in this correction. So like I told you plenty of time already, if you have an impulse, like if this was an impulse like this and a small flag near the top of the impulse and not the bottom, this would have been probably the start of this to come and break the top before the big drop. But since you've got to see this flag that was not really a flag but most likely a correction for all that move, but this means that you're waiting for an up move and this becomes a regular flat most of the time. So you see, if this goes up like this, there's not many chance that this is a regular flat for downside, right? Because the flag is still above. But if this drops and goes down like this and comes back at the top, then all this becomes a regular flat, and most of the time, all right? You can still see some setup where this goes, but if it does go, it's because it's breaking the top and making another flag and like showing that there's buyers in this zone and they want to push the price to the top, all right? But most of the time you see you almost just break this top and you go back down. So this is super interesting. This setup was perfect, and it reminds me of all the one that you see in the 4-hour chart and more. So this one, exactly the same thing. This one, you see they just come tag the top and they go back down. This one as well, but this one is kind of different, but still tag the top and go back down. And of course this one. So this one, tag the top and go back down after having a correction. So basically what you need to learn from this is that even if there's a potential setup right there, a potential running flat for an up move before having the drop, all right? Keep in mind that this is a structure in the 1 hour or less, so it has nothing to do with the drop you're waiting for. The drop will happen whenever those little structure are done, since it's the smaller structure that makes the bigger one. And because of that, you gotta keep in mind the drop, all right? But you also gotta keep in mind that this can go up until you find the right moment to go down, until the market find the right moment to go down. So the trigger that will lead to the down move. But as of right now, the move is going down, right? Pretty sure it's going down. We must wait for a confirmation, and that's why this was for me a good one, even though I was in the buy. I'm not gonna lie, I'll explain everything about what I did during this setup. So at first, I took a sell right there, all right, small setup at the breakout of this because of two reasons. The first one is I knew about this running flat. I knew that we were on the point where I was looking for another drop for this one. So I knew about this drop, and I knew that either this was going like this and going up back, or going like this, breaking the low, ranging and going back down. So in both cases, taking a sell from the top right there, if you have a setup, it's perfect. So I took this one, and this leads me to this right there. I kept it until I found that this is going like this. I found this up move and this range. Now I left my short, all right? I just closed it and I went for a buy to at least retest this top, all right? So I knew that at least we're going to retest this top, and at best this one, simply because you have an impulse correction. There's another impulse needed before having another impulse or before breaking the top. So I took a buy right there, and right there I put my break even on, and I closed it when I saw that this was going back down. So all these are smaller time frame. I don't really recommend it to anyone unless you know how to deal with them. But yeah, I closed it around there and I took a short on a setup. I think it was this one that came slowly down, and now I'm break even around this. So my stop loss is maybe right there or something in between those lines, and I'm waiting for the big down move. As to me, there's not any running flat anymore, and I'm waiting for a correction, maybe to get back in one more time to add some in my position, but also just to confirm that we're going down. So something that will look like this will be pretty good for the structure. So anyway, this is going down to at least retest this low right there. All right, I don't really see this move going up again unless you see a big correction like this. Then this becomes a bigger structure, but it won't really happen. I really see a drop coming to retest this low, as this move is to me a bit too corrective. So this is a bit too corrective, or let's say either if that's a bit too corrective, that will go down. But if that's a running flat on its own, so the impulse that is supposed to match this one, then it's going down anyway. So I see this move going down in both case. If I plan on taking a long on this, or taking a buy, I must expect a breakout of this top and a range over it, because even if you break it, I think I still see this move going down. So in both case, no buys right there. There is actually no buys. You should not take any buy from that point as of right now, in my opinion. Again, there is nothing about financial advice in this video. It's all my thoughts about this asset. So keep in mind that this is how I would trade, seeing this chart, and not how you should do it. So you take your own decision. So now let's check out Ethereum, since it's a bit different. So Ethereum, what we have with Ethereum is that this move is not completed enough, in my opinion. This is your first impulse, all right? This is your correction, all this, and this is your other impulse that is supposed to match this one. So since we didn't break the low, in my last video I told you that we should come and break the top, all right? Now there is a correction that doesn't break the top, and this is the contracting flat, as you can see in the top right corner. So we could see this coming back down right there to break the low without breaking this top. What it will actually create is that contracting are hard to trade for two reasons. The first one is that you can barely get into a setup. The smaller the time frame is for the contracting, the harder you can get on the setup to sell this. So it's hard to get on the sell setup, and because you didn't break the top, so you're not sure if this is a correction to come and break the top afterward, or this is simply going down. And the reason is that the regular flat is most likely to happen, and that's why sometimes you see it go up, break the top, and come back down even after having a retracement like this. So that's why it's pretty hard to trade. But also that since you didn't break this top and you didn't break that low as well, this could be correction that comes slowly back down to match this impulse, then come back up, and then come back down. So it can make a bigger correction, so a bigger running flat, and you won't even notice it because you think that this is a contracting flat. So for those two reasons, I'm not trading contracting flat. So I'm actually not in the trade for Ethereum, but I still expect this move to go down and then come back up to complete maybe this running flat and then go down. So maybe this, or simply go down, just like Bitcoin. I actually see this pattern just like Bitcoin. The only thing that I don't really like is that we didn't break this low right there. And the fact that we didn't break it means that there is a chance that we go back down. But it surely means that if we break this top and we give a correction, a big correction, something like at least bigger than this, bigger than this one, so a good one, I think that it can be the start of the up move for the 4-hour chart. And this is the thing that is nice from this asset not breaking this low. But of course, it depends also on Bitcoin. So I probably don't see Ethereum coming and breaking the top if Bitcoin is meant to drop. But you got to keep in mind that this is a possibility. So if we see Bitcoin, let's say, if we see Bitcoin dropping like this, breaking this low and going back up, so for a reversal flag and going back up for a reversal, we could see this one simply ranging like this and then coming up and then start the reversal. So it's a possibility, but of course I think that Bitcoin and Ethereum often goes together in terms of movements, so I would not bet on this one, but it's still possible, all right, just because we have not broken the low on Ethereum. But either way, I see Ethereum as it will surely, most likely it will come back down right there, break this low, and then start the up move to break that top. So I think if you want to focus on being right on this asset and having the good direction, you got to keep in mind that as long as this low is not broken, we will probably break this top one. And for that smaller structure, as long as this low is not broken, all right, this can come back at the top and go back down, but this can also go back down straight up, but this will probably go back up after that. So I'm not super clear on this one, all right, I know, because usually this comes and break the top and go back down, but if that's a contracting, this will go down straight up. In both cases, I see this low being broken one more time because of the movement right there, the fact that it is coming pretty far near the low and having another up move before going down means that this is probably a correction for that drop and having another drop before the up move. So I'm still looking at this as an up move as long as this bottom is not broken in 4 hour plus, so daily as well, but otherwise this is going down. So that's my thoughts for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So now let me check out quickly in the smaller time frame what is up. So yeah, these moves are similar. So this can go down like this, go back up, and then come back down. But either way, this is a pretty smaller time frame, so it's not super important. You got to keep in mind the big move, which is the down move, because this will surely happen. So thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.